Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane, and in this video we are going to take a step back in time. I realized I had not done my recap of dividends and options for March and all the craziness in the market. I didn't get this one out. I know we're a little far into April. I typically put this out in the first week of the month or the last week of the month that options were paid, so last week of March or first week of April, but we're going to get to it anyway. So let's jump in here. Don't want to make this one too long. If you could do me a favor before we get too far in the video, hit that thumbs up button down below if you find any value in the content. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the Vested Interest community. Click that notification bell so you're notified whenever I put out any new content. On this channel, we focus on dividend growth investing. And there is the thanks button down below for anyone who might want to buy me a cup of tea. Really appreciate everyone who's taken the time to do that. And a special thank you to the viewers and subscribers of the channel. The channel continues to grow because of people like you. All right, and we will kick it off here. Start out with the dividends received. We were started receiving dividends on March the 3rd. First payout was from Kroger, ticker KR. They paid us $32.74. This is one I'd really love to drop down into the high 40s, low 50s again. It's kind of been bouncing between the high 50s and low 60s. I'd love to add a little bit more to this one, but it just is not in the right buy range yet. But they continue to pay dividends, and we have the drip set, so we're adding every time they pay out. Johnson & Johnson paid us $155.15, ticker J&J, and Kroger is out of the consumer staple sector. Johnson & Johnson is out of the healthcare sector. American Waterworks paid us $84.70 on the 4th. Ticker AWK is a utility company. Enbridge, this is out of the energy sector, ticker ENB, paid us $132.71, again, all on the March 4th. Then we jump over to Friday, March 7th. Pfizer, ticker PFE, paid us $138.97. Pfizer is out of the healthcare sector. This is one I recently added to here, a big tranche. You'll see that in my portfolio update on Sunday, so tune back in for that one. Google, one of the most recent additions to the portfolio. I think this was either our first or second payout from Google. Ticker GOOGL. Alphabet really is the name of the company. Google is the ticker. Ticker GOOGL. There is another ticker for this one, GOOG. I think it pays out at the same time, but we chose GOOGL because that gives us some voting rights for the shares we hold. They paid us $14.41. This is out of the technology sector. That was on March 17th. Also on the 17th, Next Era Energy, another utility company, ticker NEE, paid us $106.90. This is one I've been adding to anytime it dips under 70 or right around 70. Google, I've been aggressively adding to under 165 or so. LyondellBasell. This will be the last payout from LyondellBasell, ticker LYB, out of the materials sector, paid us $218. We did trim this out of the position. Another one we trimmed out, and that was paid out on the 18th. Another one we paid out or trimmed out of the position, Haverty Furniture Companies, ticker HVT, paid us $105.78 on the 21st. Haverty Furniture Companies is out of the consumer discretionary sector. So we did have a couple sales this week. Again, tune back in for the portfolio update on Sunday. You'll see that. Another one that paid us out here, Tuesday the 25th, March 25th, Valet, ticker VALE, out of the material sector, paid us $342.61. This is one we've been adding to, a little nibbling here and there anytime it's under $10. On the 31st, we received our last bit of payments here, ticker SCHD, paid us $149.51. This is an ETF, dividend growth ETF here. We add to this every week regardless of the market. VTI is another ETF, Vanguard's total stock market, paid us $65.44. Another one we add to every week regardless of the market. And last but certainly not least, Union Pacific, another one I added to here with the recent dip, ticker UMP, out of the industrial sector, paid us $73.45. Great month in dividends for March, $1,620.39. But again, we did trim a couple positions. LyondellBasell, ticker LYB, and Haverty Furniture Companies will no longer be paying us. I believe these were the last dividends we will receive from them. All right, we'll do a recap here. As you can see, January, $522.75, February, $990.26, and March. This is definitely the largest payout for any one month, $1,620.39. for a grand total so far in the year 2025, $3,133.40 in dividends. Now, we did have one options play in March, Nutrien, and again, we did trim this out of the position overall. Two contracts there, paid us $68.92. Nothing to really write home about, but if you needed to fill up your car with a tank of gas, I guess that would do it. Total options so far in 2025, again, not been a great year. $9.45 in January, February $123.33, March $68.92. $201.70 total. Again, not really a lot, but probably would pay maybe 1 month's utility bill if you wanted to use the cash for that. I've been reinvesting anything I get in options right back into the portfolio. All right, March cash flow, dividends and options, $1,689.31. Total dividends to dates, we just saw $3,133.40. Total options, $201.70. And the total dividends and the options so far for the year, $3,333. Oh, I think that's supposed to be $3,335.10. We got an extra 3 there. All right, and here is the year-over-year performance. As you can see, a 67.79% increase from last year. So last year in March, we received $965.69. This year up to $1,620.39. So very big jump up. I don't anticipate that jump every year like that, but that is very nice to see. And you can see we've had other months that we had big jumps like that, and that really shows you how sticking to this strategy, dividend growth investing strategy, really starts to add up over time, and that dividend snowball is now starting to add a significant amount of new shares in the portfolio. So as I add new capital, obviously that dividend snowball grows, but now the portfolio itself is generating a significant amount of income month over month and adding a bunch of new shares on its own. So now we're starting to see some big jumps. And like I said, you can see some of these other jumps there back in September from what year is that? 2023 to 2024. That was a big jump there. Another one right here in May. From 2023 to 2024, last year was a big jump from 553 to 1,077. So you can see that nice stair step up. There is a couple of times where we've sold out of positions, like this drop here. You can see in June, we did a big reallocation across the portfolio, sold out of several positions, reallocated some funds. So we had a temporary drop down in dividends, but then right back to growth again. So that happens, but not very often. As you can see, for the most part, it's a nice steady stair step up month after month, year over year, right? And that's what I'm trying to show you here, right? You start to see this dividend growth really start to explode at times. And a lot of that is just because the dividends reinvested plus the new capital I'm adding is really supercharging. The dividends specifically are really helping us supercharge the portfolio. So we'll see what April brings. I don't know if I'm anticipating a jump like we saw in March. It would be nice, but so long as I continue that steady stair step up, that's really what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to show you, again, year over year, month after month. All right, well, let me know what dividends you received, or it doesn't have to be for March, could be last week, could be the coming week, could be in April. What are you buying? What did you buy during this big downturn here over the last week? Crazy market right now, very volatile, hard to know what's going on from one day to the next with the changes in tariffs and all the other stuff politically, and that is definitely really impacting the market. So have a plan for your buying, kind of look and see what you're buying or what you want to buy, and then wait for those prices. And it would not be a bad time to, if you own individual stocks, to review those stocks, make sure they meet your investing criteria, make sure they're still good companies, possibly look to see how stuff like tariffs might impact them. And though it's not a long-term impact, there may be long-term impacts. A lot of these countries, and I hate to get political, but there is some political impacts on your portfolio. A lot of these countries that are impacted by these tariffs are looking to divest outside the United States. That's just a fact, and that's not me saying it. That's them saying it. From the Canadian Prime Minister and politicians in Canada to the European Union, to China, to other countries, and whatever your opinion of those countries, that will have impacts on our country going forward. If other countries divest away from America and start to trade outside America more, that impacts American companies. That's just the reality. So you might want to look at how those impacts might affect some of those companies. Might be a downturn in profits, short term or even long term. And to be honest with you, that is part of the reason I sold several companies this week. I believe they're going to be impacted long term. Plus, there was some fundamental issues when I went back and reviewed. Their payout ratios were extremely high and have been for a while. Their revenue was decreasing. Maybe I'll do a video on what I was looking at and the reason I sold those companies that I did. LyondellBasell, Nutrien was one. We saw we received dividends, but we also did options on that last month. That was another one that I sold out of, and part of that was decreasing revenue over the last several years, very elevated payout ratio, and potential impacts from the tariffs, both long-term and short-term. But let me know what you think of the video. What dividends did you receive? What options have you been in? What are you buying? What are you looking to buy? Would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. As always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the best interest community. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what's going on in your portfolio. I do personally read and respond to the comments. I'm always interested to read your questions, opinions, or suggestions for future topics. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion. Investing journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can lose money. You should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and select criteria, or seek the advice and counsel of a certified financial advisor.